On the bright side, it's not Jamie Dornan's worst movie of 2018.
You're not Robin of Locksley anymore. You're Robin Hood.
Hello there everybody, how are you? It's me, the Canadian Movie Buff, with a review of Robin Hood. So Robin Hood stars Taron Edgerton as Robin of Locksley, a lord of Nottingham who is drafted off to the Crusades. Eventually he comes home and finds that Miriam, the woman that he loved, has found another man. In hopes of winning her back, he enlists the help of John, a prisoner of war who managed to escape the Crusades, and trains him to become the Hood. The story of Robin Hood has always been a tough one to accurately portray on screen. There have been several adaptations throughout the years, some more successful than others, but there's never been a Robin Hood movie that has been defined as the pivotal Robin Hood film. The last one we got was back in 2010 with Russell Crowe as the star and Ridley Scott as the director. And like most adaptations, it was okay. However, mediocrity is not what this movie is going for. It takes risk. It is bold. It doesn't settle just to be average. It turns out to be terrible. Despite a boring script, weak character development, the actors actually make an effort. In cases like this, a little effort goes a long way. It makes it seem as if they actually care about this movie, even if everything else about it is complete and utter garbage. If you had to describe Robin Hood, you'd say it's equal parts medieval action and heist drama. This movie has barely enough of either. Thanks to some choppy editing choices, the action in this movie is incredibly dull to watch. It honestly feels as if they're trying to rip off Zack Snyder and Guy Ritchie all at the same time. Except, it doesn't have any of the witty back and forth banter of Ritchie, nor does it have the picturesque cinematography of Zack Snyder. The action always slows down and then speeds up in an attempt to make it look artsy or to make up for any lack of style. And if you're worried that the substance would overload the style, don't worry, this movie doesn't have any substance either. The weird thing about the plot is that they set up so much potential. Like, there are so many different ways the story could have gone. Instead, they introduce these interesting possibilities and then flounder from one point to the next. Honestly, the amount of potential story here could have made for an interesting miniseries. Maybe the pilot episode is about Robin of Locksley falling in love with Miriam and exploring their relationship. And then at the end of that episode, you could have him drafted off to the Crusades. Have 2 or 3 episodes of him fighting in the Crusades, and then an episode after that of him coming home and trying to readjust to his life now that Miriam has moved on. Another episode of him being trained by John. Then the final 2 episodes confronting the Sheriff of Nottingham and pulling off the great big heist, while also leading a revolution. It's really disappointing if you think about it, because if they had actually taken the time to really think about how they wanted to approach this character, it could have been fantastic. Now, sadly, because of this movie, we'll probably never get another adaptation for another, I don't know, 15, 20 years. Then again, who knows? If Cyberpunk 2077 does well, that may spark interest in a futuristic Robin Hood movie. Like I said, there are some talented actors in here, including Jamie Foxx as John and also Ben Mendelsohn as the Sheriff of Nottingham. And I have to ask, what did they bribe Mendelsohn with? Or better yet, what did they blackmail him with? Honestly, it feels like he walked on set after shooting Rogue One, they changed his costume a little bit to look more medieval and said, okay, play the same exact character, but make it like 1,000 times more cartoonish. That's pretty much his character in a nutshell, just directed Krennic, except a lot more shouting and way over the top. Some executive producer was fed up of it taking desk space, so he scrapped together a budget, got some stars interested, and just put it into production just so he can get it out of the way. I was extremely disappointed because I wanted to enjoy this movie. I was hoping that this was another King Arthur Legend of the Sword, where it got boggled down by such negative reviews, when in reality it was actually a pretty decent movie. It's nothing spectacular, but for what it's worth, it's something to enjoy. And it's something that's also part of the medieval genre. Something that isn't very popular in the movies these days, but very popular on TV. That actually gives all the more reason why this should have been a Netflix miniseries. If you are in the mood for some medieval action, I'd suggest picking up the Blu-ray of King Arthur instead. Or if you're not interested in seeing either of these sequels, then I recommend seeing Overlord. This movie does not deserve your money. It deserves to be placed in quarantine. You know what's depressing? That is both the second time I've used that rating in this season, and it's also the second time I've used that rating ever. I don't know how this happened. I mean, this was supposed to be the rarest of the rarest rating. Like, a movie would have to be spectacularly bad to earn this rating. Maybe I just gotta stop seeing bad movies. Alright, that's my review of Robin Hood. Have you seen... Okay, never mind. You probably haven't. Would you have preferred to see a Netflix miniseries of Robin Hood? Leave your answer by commenting down below, leave a like if you enjoyed the video, subscribe and hit the bell icon if you're new here, and as always, this is the Canadian Movie Buff saying I hope you had a fantastic weekend at the movies. See ya!